So far what we managed to have here is just the really simple website that shows us some posts, and we can easily create some. So for example, it's a test, and the description, some description, and it adds here URL to a post, right? So we can see the title, description, and now I've added that middleware that I talked about with the authentication, and we can see how that works in main. I thought it's not that interesting, to be honest, to implement it like on a separate video, so I just did it on my own, and I was kind of right because it took me some time to get it done and it was not that fun. But the main idea is we have this authorized router now, which will execute first out required, and it's gonna happen on almost all the routes. And the idea for it is, well, you need to first call to auth login if you want to use the website. And how I did it was, well, we also have some API routes, right? So we cannot really force you to not be able to use curl. So how this thing works is, first of all, it checks if you already have a session. So it tries to get that from the session, I guess. And if you are already logged in, then it should be fine. It should let you go to the normal handler with c.next, and it also sets the user ID to your user ID, so that you don't have to call to any GitHub stuff later to identify which user you are. But let's say you don't have a session, so you didn't make a call to, I guess, the login page, then at the end here it redirects you to that page, right? And the other thing, to be able to use the API with curl or whatever, I added this authorization header, and in the authorization header you need to have a JWT token with the user ID, basically. So you can generate that from your profile page. You generate an API key, and then you can use this API key with curl. So for example, we can do curl. Let's say we want to get the posts. It's like a bearer token, and this JWT will contain, I guess, your user ID. So when you make the request, you're gonna see the post, right? And I also added the link. I mean, the link was already there, but I just populated the author with the user. And how we do that, how we populate the author in the post, let's see, in the repositories for posts, you have to add this thing, relation, and the name of the field that you want to populate. To be honest, it's a bit inconvenient because you have to specify it. I would have liked it more if you were able to somehow specify here, like I don't know, table, like something like take from, or I don't know, take from user, right, or something like that. But I mean, it is what it is. It's still nice that you don't have to do any joins manually. You can just say, okay, author ID, so this column is referring to the ID column from the user, so this column, and it does the join for you. So at least we have that, right? Let's not complain about it. So yeah, I guess the out middleware is done now. So we make sure that you are authenticated. We specify a user for each post, and yeah, we can even delete them. So right, it's gone now. So I mean, obviously you can go back with the browser, but if you try to search for it, it's gonna say 404, right? Even here, I mean, yeah, it's just because of the browser caching, right? If you like, it makes sense. The browser kept the HTML pages, but if you actually try to go to that page after you deleted it, it's gone. So yeah. Oh yeah, and the API keys, you cannot really remove them. They just have a 72-hour expiry date. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit scuffed, but it's just for playing around with some Go, right. Okay, and I guess my idea for today is to make the posts more like, let's say, it's it's not, the name post. I came up with it in the beginning because I was like, let's make a Twitter clone or something, but let's actually make them be like course subjects. So my math course notes, for example, right? And in here, how about being able to add some files, like upload files? And we'll start with Markdown because, why not? Like, everyone should use Markdown, to be honest. But be able to add files, right? Maybe see some text from it or something, and it would be like a hub where you can, add your notes or something. Now, obviously, it's a bit trash because it's like the website and stuff. Would be nicer to have like a CLI maybe for this stuff. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, it's more like learning Go and HTMX and stuff purposes, so it's fine. So yeah, we have like, okay, this is the page for math, so we can add here documents about math, like course notes. And then what we'll try to do is using llama, and I think this can be a good replacement for the O in our top G stack. So yeah, pretty nice. Yeah, and I've already installed llama, so we can actually run llama 2. Just now I've noticed that there is an uncensored one, so I should have downloaded this one, but I'm not gonna wait now for it. It takes like a few minutes, so there's no point in doing that. But just being able to ask it to make you math recipes, like imagine having like a page made for, I don't know, breaking the law stuff. That would be funny. And yeah, you just have to keep in mind that to be able to run like this kind of stuff, you need a lot of resources. Like the 7 billion parameter one runs for me, but like maybe even using a smaller one would be fine, so whatever. But yeah, like let's try to do that. Let's try to add posts, right? And like what's pretty neat about LangChain is that it's also available for Go, so we don't even need Python to use it. We can just take this thing, use it, and maybe you are asking yourself like, how can we use like how can we combine these two ideas, right? Adding the documents for a course and using a llama, like how can we combine these two ideas? And well, that's a pretty interesting thing, because what we can actually do, let's see, not even sure where the thing is, maybe in models or something. We can actually do something called rug. Let's see if we find it. Like it's called I don't even know what that is. So I guess even better, I think LangChain Go has an example already. LangChain Go should have an example for this. So inside of examples there should be pretty sure I saw like PG I think this one I wanted to implement, and this one just because it's with Postgres, so for PG vector. And like the idea is we want to take our documents, run the Llama 2 model on them, right? Generate embeddings, save those embeddings into a database, and in this case I see that we can use Postgres, so that's perfect. It's the P in our top G stack, so that's great, right? So perfect, we can use Postgres. So right, we save those embeddings in the Postgres database, and then we can run queries that will retrieve documents from the database. So if you put a question in let's say in our post here, which is about math, it's gonna try to find those documents that are really close to that question, and then we can run Llama 2 again, like we used Llama to create embeddings for the question, for the documents, for stuff, just to compare the embeddings and find which documents are the best for our question. And then we can use the LLM to actually generate a response based on that context, let's say. So you know, we'll keep this open because we are gonna copy paste it in a short time, hopefully. It depends how long it's gonna take to upload files to this thing. So yeah, the way I think I want to handle file upload, well, I mean obviously with HTMX, so I just had this thing open. Let's just, you know, copy paste this thing. I haven't even read what it does, but let's hopefully find out together. So let's go in the post, right? And in the post here I show, you know, the name, description, the author and stuff. So what would be probably nice, instead of the delete button, I mean, let's put it closer to the delete button so that people, you know, accidentally delete their stuff. So we are gonna have, well, first of all, let's see what this thing does. So it's a form, right? It has an ID, HX encoding, so it's gonna be form data, upload, so file input, perfect. It's pretty easy. We have a button, then we have a progress. So the progress, I guess, sure. And then we have a script which probably no, shows us some progress bar. It's pretty neat that we have a progress bar. I really like progress bars, to be honest, so pretty neat. And this thing is what? Like, this looks like it doesn't need a script, so the script is embedded in the form element. I have no idea why. Well, I mean it's the same thing, I guess. So progress ID, but I see that you have on HTMX whatever, like you write the function. Yeah, whatever. So let's put the form probably somewhere here, right? Let's format really quickly. So interesting, you can even have HTMX. Okay, so we have a form. Oh my god, I really hate, I don't know why people use this kind, like it's easier to type just quote instead of holding shift and pressing quote. Strange. let's just replace the ugly single quotes. I mean, you know, use single quotes for characters, not for strings, bro. Sure, we have the form for file upload, right? We have a button. Let's keep it like this, so upload. Then we have a progress, and yeah, so let's rename this to file upload form, right, like this. And I guess we need to change that. Right, and obviously file upload progress. Let's change this one too. I think with the octo symbol you do the ID, right? So yeah, probably. Okay, pretty neat. I mean, this thing, I used it for doing a refresh of the page when you click on the delete button, so it moves you back to home page. So if you delete a post, you know, maybe you want to go to the index page or something, but yeah. So this one seems to be like when you have progress, like the event progress, I guess, you want to set an attribute, pretty neat, the value of the progress to this thing. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, like the quote symbols, I understand them, but EVT for event, like, come on, what? Like, that's evil, to be honest. So this should add a form with a file input. So let's see if that's you know, it looks really ugly, so adding tailwind is on my to-do list, like the next thing. So let's see, like, can we maybe create a file, right? So let's documents, let's touch something. So let's make an example.md file. My first course, and I don't know, today I learned about adding numbers. I don't know, 42 plus 27 is 69. I'm right, right? 42, yeah. Okay, so you know, we'll maybe use this file for some meme. Okay, so let's try to go documents and try to choose this one, upload. Nothing really happened, right? And I guess because we don't have the upload thing right here. But my mistake was that I didn't keep the networking tab open. Let's try again. So let's see what the request looked like. So it's like the file, pretty interesting. Wasn't really sure this is how it's gonna look like. Okay, I mean, it's pretty neat. So, you know, we are gonna probably based on the content type. Like, let's say that for now we only accept markdown files. Let's make it easy. In the cookies we send the out session, so there's no issue with not knowing which user sent the request. That's pretty easy. The request contains the payload, so in this case it contains the plain text because it's markdown, and I guess, yeah. So let's see what headers we sent. Content type. All right. Yeah, sure, why not? So instead of just upload, I'd say that let's go to our main file, and probably we'll want some kind of maybe API way of adding, let's say, documents to a post, right? So at this point I'm not really sure if I want, let's say, a path like API documents, right? Or if I want posts slash the ID of the post and then documents, right? I think I want this kind of path, just because documents are, part of a post, so you kind of need the ID of the post. Although, how can we get the ID of the, we know the ID of the post. Okay, then yeah, we'll keep it like this, right? So let's make an authorized route, and the first thing, let's say, is gonna be post, so we can add documents, API posts slug of the post documents. So this is gonna be documents controller, probably create document. So this is gonna be how we add documents. Then obviously we'll need a get to retrieve a single document. Let's maybe say ID or something. Get document. Oh yeah, and maybe the only thing I don't really like, let's say when we do create post, for example, I'm not sure if it's possible to do that, but how I'm getting the user ID is from the C context, like from the gene context. So I'm saying like get the user ID key, and user ID key is, the user ID. So this gives us the user ID. And what I don't really like about this is, like, usually in, like, even in Rust or Python, like API frameworks, you have stuff like user ID here, right? And the framework does the parsing for you. So I don't know if it's possible to have that in Go. Like, would be really cool to have that, because imagine like not having to do this part manually. It does it for you, because I mean, come on, it's like the bind call, right? Like, surely there must be a way to get the like from middlewares, right? From middlewares, how can I go there? Okay, this thing, what if call like cnext user ID, right? Like, that's my idea, but you cannot really do that. So I mean, it is what it is. We have to live with manually reading the body from the request, and manually, I guess, getting the ID. Like, it would be really nice to have all of this done automatically, but it is what it is. So yeah, anyway, let's see. So here we can get a single document, and what if we want to get all the documents for some reason, like to display them, right? To display the documents in the thing. So for now, let's just keep these three, because it's gonna take us some time to add them. And yeah, So it's going to be documents controller. So documents controller. It's more like attachments, but controllers dot new documents controller. And let's think, what can we need from this stuff? So maybe we'll make a documents repository. At the same time, I think we'll also need a posts repository. Or do we? Like, we need some way to add the relationship between posts and documents. Like, we might need a new table for that. Something. And I guess, yeah, right, no, I guess, yeah, I mean, because we want to also show the document, like, here comes like a document, no, with text. We might want to say, okay, first document, and then show the text of the document here, but like in the future we'll want to save embeddings also. It's gonna be interesting. So yeah, we might not need the posts repository directly, so that's a thing. So as I said, we might need the posts documents relationship, so we'll see that. But for now, let's say we don't pass anything, and we'll see what we need on the way. So yeah, we have all of these, right? And creating a document is going to be just a post to this thing, right? So I'd say that this route should probably take in this payload and handle it. Right, it should be able to take in that kind of payload. So like multi-part form data. And yeah, I'm pretty curious how we are gonna handle this, but okay. So that's the idea. And let's go in the web app controllers and let's do documents.go package controllers. And you know the drill already. We can save some time by copy pasting stuff. I mean, just to have examples, because I like this. So, documents controller, get document, right, get documents, all right, and create document. We'll do the update later on, but for now it's like, I'm even questioning how update should work on a document. Like, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Like, update. Like, maybe you will be able to edit the text from here, or maybe if you upload a file with the same name, it does some kind of update. Not sure yet. So here we're gonna have the documents controller, right? I don't know yet what requirements it's gonna have, so let's just keep it new documents controller, and it's gonna return a documents controller, right? So not sure yet what's gonna do. Okay, so what do we need here? It's get a single document, and I guess if we take a look in main again, we take the ID of the post and also the ID of the document. So this is the ID of the post, right? We parse it as an UUID, and let's say the document is going to be the same thing. So ID and error UID dot parse say param ID. So this is going to be the ID of the document. And yeah, just need that. And okay, let's see, we should be able to get documents regardless of the user, I would say. Like let's not really go in that deep into it, so let's just say that you can only add documents if you are the right user. So maybe that's gonna be the thing. But all right, maybe would it make sense to have a add document function on the repository of post? Not sure to be honest. Anyway, let's just say we don't know yet what we are gonna do. So maybe what we are gonna return is just gene.h, and let's try to, okay, let me search for example of gene.h because I don't remember. Let's just for now return slug and id. Let's make it like an echo server, like echo route, I guess. So we still need to implement get documents and also create document. Create document is going to be more interesting though. So get documents only gets the slug, so it should retrieve all the documents of a post, right? And yeah, the last one is gonna be create document, so that's gonna be more interesting. Create document, right? So create document, again, it needs the slug, and I'll be honest with you, I have no idea how we are gonna handle the form data. So okay, it looks like it doesn't like something, I'm not sure what. So cannot use, dude, literally I did the same thing here. So like what? Oh, maybe I did, no, it's document controller. Why do you complain? Cannot use document controller. Oh, I know why. Because here I said post. Yeah. And yeah, another change, like a small refactor that I did was using this in all the methods. I mean, this is what this parameter is actually, is this, but I don't know if that's the convention in Go. So okay, the error went away. Did the error went away here? Sometimes what I don't like about air is that it doesn't go air stop if error. Like it doesn't really show you show error. I don't know, like it doesn't really show you the error how I would like it to show it. It's like here, and then it starts running the old code. So yeah, anyway, now if we go back to main, it's pretty decent. So okay, then let's try to upload again. So we still get a 404. Maybe, oh my god, do I really have to reload? Still get a 404. Oh, I'm stupid. So post.html. And we have to change the upload. And now, as I said, it's posts, right? Post.slug. Then slash documents. Something moved. Oh, this thing. But I didn't really know what. So I think that's the right path, right? API posts, ID and documents. Yes, that's the right path. So if we refresh and try again, we get a 200. And that's pretty good because it actually worked. That's why, I guess. So let's go back to create document and let's try to see what we get in the body, I guess. See, like here it returned the slug, so just as we did. All right, so what do we want to do when we create a document? That's a good question. So we don't have an example in here, but we should have an example in this one. Usually we would try to bind stuff and try to bind. We have bind JSON, bind HTML, bind all sorts of stuff, bind URI. I don't think we have a bind file or something. Like, how can we read form data? When gene read file upload. Let's see if we find an example. Upload files. Okay. Single file. So we're gonna have a post, right? Oh, and it's form file. Interesting. It's that easy. What about multiple files? Maybe we want multiple parts, because I think it's multi-part form what we have, right? Like how I did it. Wait. Multi-part form data, right? So form file, files. So we can try this, right? Let's try to, but yeah, I'll have to see what upload means. But let's try this thing. So we are gonna take a form, right? And let's try to just print it first. fmt print ln form. Let's see what form has for us. So if we try to upload, we get the map, right? Map. Interesting. And here it's like file. I guess this is the name of the key and all of this stuff. I'm curious where the name comes from. So it's file, right? This is where the name comes from. What would be interesting? Can we do multiple files? Let's try to go to documents again. Nvim test.md. This is my other example. Okay, let's try to put so we cannot really put multiple files, right? files. Let's see. Because this one is like single file, but how about being able to put multiple files, right? That would be more interesting. I guess HTML multi-file upload, like it should be done in HTML pretty easily. So select files, multiple, right? That should be the thing. Something like this probably. So if we do two files selected, right? So upload, we come back and we should see two files, right? Perfect. It means that now we can add multiple files. That's really neat. So the next thing would be to take this thing. So we have file, which we saw it's like a map, and the key is gonna be file because that's how we named our input. It's file. All right. Yeah, and like random tangent, but you can do this redirect. I mean, I saw that you can use the hx redirect header or what is maybe reference hx redirect. Okay, this one. If your server responds with hx redirect, then it's gonna redirect to that URL. But I don't really like the idea, because this means that our API, because when we do delete, we call to the API, it means that our API needs to return that, and I don't know, but I don't like that, because I don't want to make the API know what front-end framework we use. It's a bit weird. But let's continue with the real stuff. So it's printing the files, right? So let's see the files. So let's go back to our thing, try again, and I mean obviously we get that, but we can do a for loop, right? We can do a for loop and fmt print file name. All right, so this one it's gonna be interesting how we are gonna be able to read the contents of the file, but for now let's just print them. So let's just see the names, example and test. This is really nice. So can we do something more interesting? We can run open on the file, opens and returns. Interesting. We can get the size, we can header, so you can get stuff from the header, right? So let's see when we send files. Not sure. What did we put in the header? Nope. Yeah, anyway, so we have this like stuff, right? The size, not sure if the header refers to this stuff or what. You know what, let's print the header just to see what it contains, because I'm not sure about it. So yeah, exactly, the header contains the content type, which maybe we'll need it in the future if we want to support anything other than Markdown, but for now it's fine. So what I'm gonna do is actually call to open, right? And open is gonna return us a file and an error. So f error is gonna be equal to this thing. Can we do file close? Not really. So if error is not equal to nil, then no, I wouldn't really, let's say, fail everything. Maybe just log some stuff. Can we log? What does fatal do? No. So I mean, we don't really have that, so maybe printf, right? And say something like file could not open file, and yeah, file.name. Imagine somehow being able to, do we have continue? Yeah. Somehow being able to send like a malicious file that cannot be opened, and the file name would be something that breaks Go in such a way that gives you remote code execution because of this print. Okay, so what can we do with file? We can do close, so we can defer that probably. Defer this thing, right? And file, we can maybe read. This is gonna so read takes in, looks like it takes in an array of bytes, so reads that, gives us the size and an error. So strange. Do we really have only I mean, it's reader interface, so wow, it's okay. Let's see, golang read entire file. I don't really like this because this is like made for specific files. I'd like to just read this F file, so the reader. Well, I mean, maybe it's time to use Copilot. Right, read entire file should probably get multi-part file. So let's say file multi-part file. Okay. And I would say that it should probably return byte array. Or I guess it's here, byte array. Alright, so let's make a buffer. Can we do make? Maybe like this. Or like new byte array. Dude, I'm Okay, who knows, maybe it's possible. So okay, and we'll do something like content is equal to read entire file. We'll pass in f, so we should get back the bytes, or I guess error. We should maybe also return error. So okay, and probably if error is not equal to nil, we'll do something like printf could not read file %s could not read file, and continue. And obviously we'll do something with the content, but for now let's just log.print ln content. Let's just print it. So how can we actually read the file? File.read, read at. So I guess we also have 6, so I would assume that read 6 to the next position. So okay, when read encounters an error, right, may return non-nil. Okay, so if it's we read until 0 and end of file, right? Okay, I don't get it. So reader is whatever. It returns the number of bytes read, so between 0 and length of p, obviously. Even if read returns n smaller than whatever, it may. Okay. So error should be equal to end of file to stop. Alright, let's see if we can maybe do that. So we don't have, do we have a loop or what? For. Okay, and read, I said it returns a number and an error. So let's call this one, I don't know, like buff, and make here the buffer like this, and error. So let's have n error is equal to this thing. Can we do a read into buff, and then error is not equal to end of file or something? Is it like a loop? How do we? Well, maybe it won't let us do that, so Jesus. Okay, let's search for something. Golang read example. So we make this kind of stuff, check error, print or whatever. No, let's not do that. Dude. Oh, read the list. Oh. Huh. Let's see if we actually have that in IO. IO, read. Huh. Well, you don't say that. Okay, I mean, this saved us from a bunch of pain, so I really appreciate it. Okay, this is bytes though, so when we are gonna print this, it's gonna look ugly, so let's do this. Okay, so now we should be able to upload stuff. Probably, yeah, like it failed to build, but why do you run the thing if you fail to build? That's so annoying. Okay. So upload and we get, right, we get the responses. That's cool. Okay, what we are gonna do with the responses though? So we need to do something with it. So right, like we get the response. We might want to keep the file name. Maybe we want to keep anything else other than the file name. So like the file name, the content, and probably the slug of the post. Like how I think we're gonna have this is we don't need a relationship table because we are gonna have document, I guess it's a one-to-one, right? Or no, it's a one post can have many documents, but a document can only have one post, so it's one to many, right? Whatever they call it in database stuff. Okay, then let's go ahead and implement a model for our document. So documents.go. Obviously the easiest way again is to just copy paste stuff, so I don't think we need documents DTO. Yeah, I don't think we need this. Maybe we'll need it, but not now. So document, right, we are gonna have table documents alias D. It gets the D, so it's gonna have an ID. Alright, primary key, type whatever, JSON ID. Yeah, if you ask me why I call the ID of post slug, I have no idea. I think it was like influenced by something a long time ago, but I don't remember what. So we should have the file name, right? File name. Document in controller, so file name. Okay, I have file name and file name. We'll keep a limit of 128 again, why not? Description. We are not gonna have that, right? We're not gonna have a description. Oh, I have another idea. What if we have the ID, file name, content type is gonna be like a string, content type, right? Like we know that we have content type here, text markdown. What we have content type is gonna be type varchar 128. The only issue is, personally I would keep this as like, I don't know, some kind of enum, but let's keep it as a string. not null, obviously. I guess default. What is the default when you do plain text? Now that I trashed on air because it doesn't stop when you get an error, but like what I'm gonna do next is actually keep it broken, like the code is broken, but I'm gonna try to use it, so now it's actually a good thing that it runs. So let's do test file.txt. So this should be plain text, right? Plain text. Let's use this as the default. So it's text plain, right? Can we say default is going to be equal to text plain? JSON content type. Alright, I think I like this. We're going to have a content type created at. The author ID is not important because document is going to depend on post, so we are going to keep here post slug, right? Post slug. So it's like a foreign key, post slug, and here we're going to keep a post. Relationship belongs to post slug, and the JSON post. Yeah, I don't really care about having the post here, I'll be honest. I'd much rather care about having the list of documents in the thing itself. Oh, and one thing I forgot about, which is probably important, is content, which should be byte. So let's save the content as bytes, and then when we want to display it, we'll do it based on the content type or some crap like that. Maybe it's better, like keep the file intact, right, in our database, like exactly how the user uploaded it, so that, you know, if we find issues and stuff, you don't have to re-upload your file, whatever. Anyway, okay, so let's go to bun documentation types. Well, I really like that there is, oh my god, tags, right? I wanted to see type, column types. It's like in integer and stuff, but what I'd be curious is PostgreSQL binary data, like binary type of the column. How can we say that? But like, do you think I care about all of this? Just give me the type name. Column type. Byte A. The byte A thing, right? Oh, I guess if I started to read, I would have seen it. So type is gonna be byte A for some reason. It's gonna be not null because it doesn't make sense. And default is gonna be empty. Okay, and JSON, it's gonna be content, right? So we send the data back as that. New document. I guess, yeah, it doesn't make sense to have a new document because, okay, pretty easy. I guess no, yeah, it makes sense. So let's do document DTO for this structure, and what we can do here is file name string, content type string, content byte, and I guess post slug UUID. Oh my god, what did I do? Okay. Okay, because the ID is gonna be auto-generated, created at obviously, and post we don't need it. Okay. So maybe one thing that we want to do here is add the list of documents, but not now. Let's just move slowly. So this one, what's gonna need is the document DTO, right? And it's gonna return a document. So document, we need file name, the file name, the content type, it's just city. Oh, am I the city? The content is gonna be the content, and post slug is gonna be the, like, look how I just wrote DPS and the LSP just freaking new. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like Go really has a nice LSP. I think it's the best one so far, to be honest. I mean, I don't remember how good the Rust one is, but this one feels better. Oh no, the haters. I mean, I'm just kidding. So we have this document thing, right? Let's see what we can actually do. So document is gonna be well, this is a bit dumb because, yeah, like maybe we'll need this, like when you do the update, for example, maybe that's when we are gonna need this document DTO, because yeah, but for now, yeah, it feels strange. But document DTO, and let's say that we want file name to be file.filename, right? We want the content type now, so content type is gonna be interesting. Let's get rid of some of the stuff that we already did because it bothers me. So we need to get the content type from the headers, so file.headers.get, we need to pass in content type. This gives us a string, so it's perfect. Right. What's next after the content type? It's the content itself. So content is gonna be content and post slug, and post slug is gonna be slug. So I mean equals. Right, so now we have a document thingy. Right, we have a document, all's good. Maybe DTO. Let's say like document is gonna be equal to others.new document, and let's actually just pass this thing in. So now we have a, can you format this better? Can we format it better? fine, whatever. Okay, so we have the document, right? And the goal would be to just insert it. Okay, so that's why we would need it. See, like, such a good thing that we didn't start by defining our dependencies. We need repo, which is going to be a document repository or something. Wait, let me see how I did it for posts. Documents repository, right? That's how I did it for posts. All right, that's how I did it. So this thing should get in repositories, documents repository. We don't have that yet, but we will do in a second. Then again, for posts, we have this thing which we can copy paste. So here we are still in the for loop, so no crashing yet, right? Like if we get an error, we just show the error and continue. So this is gonna be create document, right? And we have to pass in the context and probably the document. So document. Interesting. Okay. So document. All right. What I was saying that yeah, like whatever. Maybe we should check that you are the owner of the post, but who cares? Yeah, and here this thing looks like it was returning something. Like in repositories posts, right? Like create post usually returns the post, so we might not want anything there. But yeah, we don't want to fail. We want to maybe printf the error, like could not create document entry for file %s or whatever, and then file name. Sure, maybe we should also show the error. %s and then error dot error, right? Whoa, Jesus. So then continue. Like for these ones, I don't really care about the error. Like it's never gonna happen, probably. But maybe this one can happen for some reason with the database, and I see like, oh, there's no connection. I forgot to start the database or something. So yeah, so this creates a document, right? Maybe we want to keep a list of documents just to return it. Like for example, in posts post controller, here we return the post. So maybe, yeah, maybe we want to return the documents. So let's say documents. So if you make like a variable, okay, models.documents. What? Oh, it's like this. Okay. So here, okay, append documents, document. Oh, and you have to say documents. Yeah, I forgot how append works. Okay, it like creates a new slice or something, right? Okay. And here it means that we can actually say documents. Okay, and the thing is that I don't really like having post in here, so we can remove it. Maybe we'll add it the reverse way, you know, like do a reverse on them or something. So that way we can easily show our documents that we uploaded. So let's see now. We have to implement the repository, obviously. Let's go to the next phase, which is the repository. Documents.go. Okay, as usual, we need to copy paste stuff. Like this is the easiest way to do it, right? Like copy pasting documents. So we are gonna have just create for the moment. Create document. It needs a document and obviously like that. Documents repository. It needs a bun. Bun. Documents repository. Yeah, sure, I should have just replaced post with document, but it is what it is. So create document. So like create document, you know, my bad, I should have just copy pasted this thing, function, these documents. Oh yeah, the only thing I don't like about the Go LSP is that when you autocomplete some string, it deletes the next one if they are like next to each other, but I mean that's so small that I don't really care. Alright, so posts, repositories, just want to see create. Okay, so it looks the same. It must look the same. Okay, so yeah, basically we want to just did what? So post, I mean you expect declaration. Okay, all right, so now the create is pretty much the same everywhere, so it's nothing special. Let's go back to our controller in the document and see what, do we have any errors? I don't think so. So it should actually create that. The only thing is that this right now takes in a documents repository. So documents repository. We have to create it. We don't have it. Now let's go here. Let's whoa. Let's make it so repositories, new document, and it takes in that DB. So that should be fine. Do we have any errors? I don't trust it. Let's try again. Okay, doesn't look like we have errors. So if we try right now to add the files, it's not gonna work because we don't have the table, right? We don't have the table. So yeah, the thing is, okay, let's zoom in a bit. So create documents. The thing is that we didn't really set the error. and I don't know, like sure, it was successful, like a successful request, because we handled the errors in a way, but maybe we want, like sure, if we return the documents, makes sense. I guess I don't like the fact that it's null at first, so let's maybe say that it's a new array or something. And what? How about its length 0? And like if we try to upload, it's gonna be like an empty list because all of them failed, right? So this gives us a better idea of what was successful. So what do we need to do actually is create another migration, right, for documents. Let's see, I'm gonna add a new one instead of modifying the old one, just because I don't know, why not, right? So let's just to indicate that we made some progress, we made another one. So yeah, and as usual we have to write the migrations by hand. It sucks, but it is what it is. Okay, so it's a document, right? And let's also steal the one for drop. So let's do it like this, and all right, so this one should be also document. Okay, so that means that we can migrate, right? It creates the documents table. Good. So now if we try again to upload, we actually get the stuff. Now yeah, the content is in binary, so that's intended, Okay, the date time looks scuffed. Oh, what's wrong with that though? Oh, and even the ID, what the hell? I did a small oopsie. Okay, something's wrong with the ID and the thing, so let's go and see what might have happened. So here we initialize a new document from a DTO, right? That's what we do. So bam bam, all of them. This thing has a current timestamp, this has generate ID, so everything should be good, right? And here we create a document, so we run this. So the question is why? Oh, I know why. Because I forgot to override the document. I mean, sure, it should still work. Like if we run upload again, it should give us new documents. We don't check if the file name is unique, so that's an oopsie doopsie from my side, I guess. So yeah, right, how about like file name should be unique, right? File name, should it be unique though? Not sure. Like, makes sense to have the file name unique, at the same time not really, because file name doesn't mean anything. Like, I'd say that sure, if we have the same file name, like if there's a conflict with the same file name, we want to actually update the content, maybe the content type or whatever, but not really. Yeah, I mean, it should be unique though. So it should be non-null and unique. let's just remove the database. Let's run init. Let's do the migrations. So we added everything. And let's go on the home page. So we don't have any posts right now. Let's say we add back the math, my math course notes. So we have the math. Something broke. But why would that be? Because yeah, I mean, sure, because I wasn't. Okay, let's do it again. Because I didn't refresh the page, right? So, but it's curious though, because I should be logged in. Oh, I have to actually go to auth because I deleted my user if I drop the database, right? So now we are logged in. So we have my user, math. How about math? You know, it's like my math courses. Okay, let's make this. We have our user. Right, like that's the only scuff thing, that the web app, it's pretty bad. So okay, let's add some files, right? Let's add them. We get the results, right? We don't really show anything, so that's a thing. But what if we try to upload a file that already exists? It's gonna say that duplicate key, right? So the file exists, you cannot do anything. Okay, so that's good, right? Maybe we want to do something with this in the future, but for now it should be all right. For the moment it should be good. Okay, let's see what else we can do here. So sure, when we get documents, we should be able to easily get the documents now that we have everything done. Get a single document, this should also be pretty easy to do. Let's see where our repo is. Okay, let's get the example from get posts and stuff, because that's a bit better. So when we try to get a single document, we'll say something like get document, and we pass in the slug of the post and the ID, right? We need both. Well, I mean, we just need ID. I don't know why we need a slug for. Right, like we don't really need. Well, yeah, we kind of need it, because you can yeah, I don't know though, because maybe if you want to do get document, you should be able to just get any document by the ID. But if you want to get documents for a single slug, like for a single post, right, it makes sense to get only those documents. Yeah, makes I don't know. Like if we take a look at the main, maybe like in this case making a post request like this, so that you add a document for this post, yeah. But when we do get, we don't really care about this ID, because we already have this ID, which is unique. And maybe get, like, know, maybe it should be a filter parameter on the documents. I don't know though. Like let's not care about it that much. So here, like get document should probably only have, I mean, why not? Let's do both slug and ID. Get document like that. Let's not worry too much about it. So in this case, we just return the document. And when we have posts like the controller and try to get everything, we just obviously do something like this. But again, documents, we want to pass in the slug because, yeah, like for the purposes of this, makes sense. Internal server error and documents, show all the documents for a particular post or something. Let's go to repos, documents. Well, let's make things a bit easier. Okay, so as I was saying, you can actually do post document, right? And the other one is post with capital P. I'm not sure if you can, yeah, should work though. So when we get this, should be UID. Oh, I forgot to do GI, didn't I? Yeah, like GI replaces everything. Like simple replace does only the first one on the line, but if you use G, I think G does all of them or something. Anyway, so we can say that we have a relation with, can we though? Where ID is equal to this, right? Like we search for the ID, but we also search for the post slug. So we search for post slug is equal to slug. Yeah, nice, variadic stuff. Okay, so this should update the document. Perfect. And for this one, where post slug is equal to slug, right? Like fair enough, it's like get documents by post, not really get all documents, but again, for the purposes of this, should be enough. Okay, I think this should be good to actually use. So in controllers, still complains though, and I guess it complains because I forgot to do something, which is, you know, actually taking this, putting it here, like doing it on the interface, right? So let's do this and get documents. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, what's the issue, mate? Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I think, okay, let's do the build and then air. So if we go to main, we should be able to get all the documents, right? Like that should be something that's possible to do. But again, what I'd like more is, well, we can actually, you know, do a curl request just to see that. So first of all, let's refresh our out token, because I'm not sure if it's still well, I said 72 hours. It's probably been like what, 1 hour or something. Yeah, since I did the last one. So okay, I don't see the ID. It's right here. Perfect. So we can actually go like this, right? And then say documents. So this should bring back all the documents. Pretty neat. Sure, we can do that from the browser as well. And what's cool about that, it's gonna use the cookie, so we don't even need to do any authorization. And yeah, it looks like it's working. Now sure, this is binary data, so we'll have to see how we can handle it. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do for now is go into the posts model. So in the posts model we have this thing, but ban golang belongs to. But I've seen a question which I totally ignored, and I was like, well, who needs this? But relationship has one, so you can map relationships something like this. So it belongs to or has one. So relationships, relation has many. Maybe there is table relationships has many. So this is what we actually need, right? So we have documents, document. Okay, and we have to join the second. Let me think about it. We have to join the slug with post slug, right? So we have post slug in this table, and we have slug in the post table. So I think this should bring us, like, if we try to use it, it's probably gonna work. Right, because in a post it's nice to show the author, would be nice to show the documents and stuff. So let's see, let's go to the repos and make sure that get post actually uses the relation with document. Is it document? Bro, I forgot. Documents. Right, so now we should, like, if we make a get request, this thing, we should also get the document. Wow, it's so cool that it's so easy to do that. Just, yeah. So now we have now are able to add documents in here. Let's make it, let's display the documents. All right, so let's go in the post section, and in here in our post view we can have a new define. Let's define document view, right? Let's end it, and let's have like h3 or something, with file name. I need to keep open the document model just to see. So file name, let's show the content then. How can we show the content? Like, yeah, that's gonna be interesting to do. Content, because it's binary data. No, I was thinking, was that you know, when you use when you write code in HTML and you want it to keep you the right formatting, I forgot. Oh, it's pre. Okay, yeah, so for this one let's steal the for loop from here. So let's do a for loop in here. So yeah, like this, and let's have an H. So it's gonna be the title, description, author, and maybe another H1 documents, or maybe an H2 documents. So here we need to go through the documents, and we are gonna use document preview, else no documents, right? I think it makes sense. So now if we refresh this, it doesn't work. No such template document view. Right, so we get documents, example MD and test MD. The only issue is that, you know, this kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't know if it's possible. Golang template map function, like, is it apply a function on variable or something? Like, if I have a thing like this, right, can I have a function on it? Wait, what the fuck? You can actually... Can you actually write go? Func map, like something like map is something that I would like, sounds like what I need. Because I'd like to convert the content to some string, right? But models, documents, like, sure, we can probably have another field in the document for the content, which we can set manually, but like, it's more of an UI stuff, I guess. So example, parse count. No, but pipeline. Yeah, I guess there's not really an option to do that. Oh. Yeah, right, like how I just need an example of just to see how people do. Okay. So you can actually have printf. Oh my god. Returns the escape JavaScript. Okay, so printf is like, I mean, since you have ifs and stuff, it should be okay. Let's try to use printf or something to see if it actually works. Like, you would do something like this, and here percentage, like, would this still work though? It seems like it's still working, but what if we put like, I don't know, an underscore in here just to see? Okay, so it actually works to do stuff like that. That's pretty good, if you ask me. So obviously this is something that we need to do, right? Returns the result of calling the first argument, which must be a function, with the remaining arguments as parameters. So that means that we can have a function on our model that is gonna convert it to, let's say, content, right? So we can go into model documents, let's say, and what if we create a function for document which is gonna, say, parse the content or something. So let's say we have a function on this document, parse content, which should technically return string or error, but let's say it's going to return just a string, so we are going to force parsing, and by force parsing I mean, in the worst case it's going to be an empty string, so something like this. So I guess for now, no, our parsing is pretty simple. It's just calling to string. So yeah, and I guess parse content, we can do this thing now. If we refresh this, oh my god, this yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So now we have our math post, right? We have a description for it, and then we have the list of documents. So example markdown, test markdown, right, with some markdown crap. So But yeah, I mean, sadly, I think I've probably almost reached like the 2 hours mark, so probably this is all for today. But you know, like, clearly, I mean, I don't know if I want to do some Tailwind on my own. To be honest, the only reason why I want Tailwind is for the T in Top G. I mean, yeah, but yeah, like maybe for making these buttons a bit nicer or something. Yeah, I don't like the progress bar, it's completely useless, so I'll just remove it. So yeah, I thought it's gonna work, but it was just ugly. Anyway, so yeah, maybe make the buttons a bit better. Actually showing the content, not a good idea. Right, like, I don't know, like, don't really see what can be made nicer, like, yeah, like maybe in the preview or something, I don't know. So yeah, like this should be it, and probably next time we'll be able to actually use the Olama thing. I mean, I can also show you a sneak peek of how it works, but yeah, like the next step would be to actually run Llama on this stuff, on the content or something like that, get the embeddings, save them in Postgres, because PG vector or whatever, we have the example here of how to do it. And afterwards, what would be next would be to get somewhere in here a prompt box where you can write your own prompt or something, and then find the documents. So retrieval augmented generation, right? Because we can do that. I mean, yeah, it looks like it can work, so that's good. Okay, so I mean, yeah, the last thing was actually trying this one out. Let's just close all of these because we are done. And yeah, like, first it has to download it, but I mean, I already did, but it takes up like the entire memory, so let's take a look at that. So where is it? Dude, let me just search for it. So Olama serve. I mean, this is just the virtual, but it's weird. It says 4%. It says 4%. Another one is no. I want to set up. I mean, why isn't it 3 view? Huh. So it's here, but see, it says 4% of memory usage, but it's literally not. It's like 40%. That's strange. I mean, anyway, so at least we get the Olama, and we can actually, but probably it's gonna use the GPU, right, for some stuff. Oh yeah, so it uses like 5 gigs of the GPU memory, and like if you say hello, no, it's gonna I mean, it put the exclamation point for me. That's funny. is nice, and this one is nice. Like, bruh, that was weird. I was typing what I was saying. So what is 2 plus 2? And this is what if you add 43 to that? Right? Like, it also has context. Like, it keeps the history of your messages. So that works. I mean, you know, like the LLM itself is not gonna do that, but I guess all llama is implemented that way. So, like, you know, it's gonna use llama to the LLM to respond to your message, but in the implementation they also keep the history. So that's how it probably works. And what we are gonna do, I guess it's just a query, so not really a chat, but you know, just type in a message and it gives you the result. You know, like, this is something that I, you know, it really was thinking about, like, would it be possible to have it when I had a bunch of PDFs for you know, my classes in uni, and I was like, bro, it would be so nice to be able to cheat my tests and like have a, like, yeah, sure, we had ChatGPT, but you know, ChatGPT doesn't really know my courses, right? So this one, even though it's still like ChatGPT, I mean, it's Llama 2, but when I say ChatGPT, I'm more or less saying an LLM. So even though it's still an LLM and was trained on some random data, like probably Wikipedia and stuff, it still doesn't know my documents. Like, it's not like, oh, I was trained on these. Like, it was trained on whatever. And yeah, like, putting these documents in its context and asking a question about this, it's probably gonna have a better response rather than, okay, if I ask it, what did I learn today? Like, what do you think it's gonna answer? Like, it has literally no idea. But if I mean, it's not really correct, because maybe today I learned something different, but this was from some weird date. But yeah, you get the point. Like, if I ask it, what did I learn today, and it knows this document, it's gonna say that I learned how to add numbers. So that's the idea. That's why this would be better for being able to cheat on your exams. Like, you know, give it the PDF with your course, like, upload that thing here, and then if you ask a question about that course specifically, you'll get a response from that PDF. So that's like, you know, I was like, wow, that would be cool to have like 2 or 3 years ago, but I mean, would still have been possible to have some really basic shitty stuff, but this, I think, makes it a bit easier to have it. So yeah, that's what we are gonna try to do, to see if it's gonna be possible, how well it's gonna work. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one when we are gonna try to do that. So see you.